Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to be doing a natal chart analysis on the Israel and Iran war. I had done a channeled message video yesterday. If you guys can, please check it out. Very informative, and I will also do a tarot reading as well. But I wanted to look in the natal charts first to tell you what I see going on and what I see coming forward, but we're going to look more into that in the tarot. But this is just the natal chart portion. Okay, now this is Iran. So if you guys don't already know, on Friday, June 13th, Israel did a surprise attack / strike at a nuclear site in Iran, which killed several people, including scientists and political figures. And Iran struck back immediately, and they've been having this tit for tat since Friday. And today is already Tuesday over here in our time in California. I think it's already Wednesday there in Israel, in Iran, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Now, this is Iran's natal chart. And I wanted to say one important thing. Well, first, I had actually predicted this in my June 2025 predictions that Israel was going to strike Iran around a Wednesday to a Saturday, and they struck on a Friday. Okay, so that time frame right there, the 11th through the 14th. Okay, now I want to say this first. Mars is squaring Uranus, so Mars 28 degrees Leo. Just in right now in general, this is what is squaring Uranus, which is 28 degrees Taurus. Okay, when a Mars 28 degrees Leo squares Uranus, which is about war, unexpected chaos, it's going to bring a lot of chaos into the world. Okay, so it's not shocking that astrologically this happened right at the start of this war, or right before this started. There was a war, and also wars across the world with assassinations, and a lot of things. And actually there was a volcano that erupted today in Indonesia, which I had predicted. I'm gonna post that video. But this makes a lot of sense. With all the crazy transits, there's going to be a lot more, okay? Wars, assassinations, attempts on leaders, assassinations, fights, earthquakes I see in certain areas, especially Israel, Iran, with this Uranus squaring the moon. I would not be surprised if there is an earthquake coming up very soon, or a big shaking of some sort, or some type of storm around these areas, okay, around Iran, Israel, which I had mentioned yesterday in my video. And I see that happening around the world. So really hot temperatures, volcano eruptions, earthquakes. People might even be kind of acting impulsive when this happens. So you just got to be careful. Now, let's talk about this, okay? So I kind of went over what it means for us as a society. Let's talk about now how this is affecting Iran. So for the first time ever, if you look at Uranus, this is literally conjuncting Taurus moon. So Iran is a Taurus moon. Look at that. They are a Taurus moon placement. Okay. They're a fire sun. They're an ascendant is Sagittarius, which is very interesting because this is about fire energy. So it's not shocking that they're not backing down, that they're very impulsive, that they're not like you piss off a moon in Taurus off, it's war. Okay, you want to piss off a moon in Taurus 28 degrees, and it's interesting because this is literally conjunct Uranus with Mars and Leo 28 degrees, and it's conjunct Uranus in Taurus, I believe 28, 29 degrees. Look at how this moon is. Iran has a moon in 28 degrees. Okay, in Taurus. So it's no shock that there's a war. Okay, and it almost feels like too they're also going to do things on purpose. So there could be just doing it more to get a reaction. They're going to fight more. I don't see it stopping anytime soon. And I do, like I said before, I do feel like they are going to have a regime change. And there is going to be a shift with the Shah coming back around, the Shah of Iran. They're going to have a whole regime change. It's just the beginning stages. So first time ever we have Uranus conjuncting the moon, which 28 degrees, and the world right now, Mars just squared Uranus in Taurus. So this country has a Taurus moon, 28 degrees exactly. So it only makes sense why there is a war. Okay? Now let's go to Israel. I believe this is Israel's energy. Israel. Israel, as you can see, has a sun in Taurus, ascendant Libra, which is interesting because north node of Iran is Libra. Their ascendant is Libra, which is balance. Their moon is also in Libra, which is very interesting. I'm sorry, their moon is in Taurus. Their sun is in Taurus. Their moon is also in Taurus, okay? Now, when we look at Israel's chart, they also have a Mars degree, 28 degrees, okay, in the sign of Leo, as you can see right there. 28 degrees Mars in Leo, and they're also going through a Mars return, okay? So we just look at that. Interesting, 28 degrees Leo. They have this conjunction with the Taurus. It's interesting how the ships all make sense. Okay, and if you look at their north node is in Taurus. Okay, their north node is in Taurus, which means that this is their destiny. They feel like this is their land. This is theirs. With it being in Taurus, Taurus is about stubbornness. With it being in their north node, it's like, okay, this is like our property. This belongs to us. This is our destined land. And based on the charts, I definitely feel like this is divinely orchestrated, especially how it's hitting the degrees so critically here. It's very, very interesting. So I feel like this is destiny. I don't even think free will is a thing when it comes to this war. I feel like it was preordained, okay? Now, if you look at Trump's natal chart, Trump also has I believe a 28 degree Leo in his natal chart. Donald Trump, he has a Leo degree, Mars in Leo, 28 degree placement, I believe. And very interesting how he's conjuncting to the situation with Israel, how he's being a part of Israel and he's involved with Israel and Iran. So it only makes sense why he would be involved in this war. So it's kind of destiny is what I feel. So I feel like this is all preordained. Now, this is telling me that with the sun being in Taurus and the north node being in Taurus and then the Mars being 28 degrees Leo, they're not going to back down either. They're gonna get more impulsive. They're gonna fight. They're gonna let very intense emotions here. And with the north node being in Taurus, but they believe that this is their land. This is their purpose. This is part of their world. You can't take away anything what they feel is theirs. Okay. I also do feel like when it comes to the U.S., there is going to be some type of draft. We haven't had a draft since 1973. Okay? I want you guys to pay attention. We haven't had a draft since, I believe, June 30th of 1973, if I believe. If I'm wrong, comment down below. The last Shah of Iran, I believe, was in the 1970s. I believe 1979 or something, if I'm not mistaken, or around that time period. We just talked about the Shah returning, okay? And then now we talked about a draft possibly for the U.S., okay? Even though they haven't announced it yet, don't be surprised if there is a draft of the U.S. So people may be drafting certain people because the U.S. is going to go to war. Like I said in my other video, I did tell that Trump was definitely going to be involved, and it only makes sense. His Leo is in 28 degrees Mars. So he's gonna be involved. It's fated to happen. So this all makes sense. So I feel like a lot of things are going to be resurfacing from certain laws that were abolished from the 1970s. Look at these countries, look at certain laws that changed or things that were enacted around that time or changed. We might go back in time a bit. It might feel like we're kind of going back in time in 2025 in the next coming months. Okay. So that's my analysis on these countries. They're definitely gonna, it's brother wars. They're definitely gonna continue to fight. And I see a potential U.S. draft of soldiers because Iran is definitely going to piss off America. And there's going to do something, and there's going to be a lot of casualties as well. That's going to also make more of a reason to go into war. Okay, so that is what I see. That is my prediction. That is what I see. I'm going to look into the tarot, but I feel like this is going to really give you a big chunk of the information. If I had to see who I feel is going to be affected more, who it's going to affect more of a country wise, it's going to affect Iran more because Iran is going to go through a whole regime change in the future where they're going to enact the Shah or a royal family coming back around. And there's also going to be an assassination of a really prominent Iranian figure and also possibly an Israeli political figure as well. Okay, this is telling me with this energy here, with Saturn being here, that it's going to be definitely some type of an assassination or a lot of political deaths with a lot of people. Okay, maybe the number 9 or 8 could be significant, so look out for that.